You're this Purp back with another episode of the Purp Culture Podcast. I know, try to put some energy into that intro because this was my third to last episode of the Purp Culture Podcast. I know, for those that actually tuned in, this is very sad, and this is going to be very different, I've got to say, because I can't stream right now until next year, which kind of works in my favor, but fuck YouTube still in general. This is going to be pretty much a pre-recorded audio that you're hearing. This is not live. Had to do this in a different way. This is what I'm going to have to do until I'm able to live stream again. But I'm only going to have to do this a couple more times after this. So after these episodes are done, I can kind of stress less and just go back to doing normal live streams. And I'm still planning out how I want to do those live streams going into next year. I definitely want to do it a lot different than I've been doing it. It's just, I gotta be kind of mindful now on how I put out my videos, because I got a strike, so I'm trying to let that shit go away. And you're still gonna see me drop a lot of content here and there. September has been my best month. Now it's kind of starting to tone down. You know, it's getting towards the end of the year. I'm gonna be putting out a lot more videos out in December, or at least try to. You know, I'm trying to put all my top 5s or top 10 videos in December, so I'll have enough content, you know, for that month. Next month might just be movie reviews. If a TV show comes out, I might do a couple it's just gonna be normal shit as usual, you know, nothing too fancy, nothing too complex, because I dropped a lot of videos in September. So it's like my channel's good, even though my watch time has gone down dramatically. It's okay. Like, everything's gonna. I needed September. You know, I definitely needed that month of September. I had my most viewed videos on September period. Also some in October, but you know, it's getting to the end of the year, but this content won't stop coming. It will continue to come. I'll have trailer. I gotta work on that tomorrow. I'll be working on the little trailer, teaser trailer for episode 9 for next month. I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna let you guys know that episode 9 will be towards the end of the year. Same with episode 10. Just so I can give myself some time to build some content like I'm doing now. I have just enough content to go for at least an hour or a little less today on tonight's show, or whenever you watch it. I don't know how long this is going to upload, but I'm definitely going to upload this episode tonight once I'm done editing and putting some fine touches on everything, you know. And I'm hoping you guys enjoy the show tonight that I have for you guys. So, with that being said, let's get into some of our some of my topics that I have for tonight, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below, because this is not a live stream. So just comment below and let me know what you think. So we got the Halloween movie. I have a review of that in the link of the description below. I will kind of talk a little bit more about my Friday the 13th reboot. Also, they've also announced that, well, Legendary announced that they will be working on a live action My Hero Academia movie. Woo! Dope. Let's see. And on the TV side, I'm going to talk a little bit more about American Horror Story this season in the future. The new Netflix series, The Haunting of Hill House, because I know I haven't talked about it since I reviewed it. There will also be a link to that in the description below to see my thoughts on that. Also going to be talking about Titans. Titans and the backlash that show's getting right now. Some people are loving it, some people are hating it, but we're going to get to that very shortly, a little bit later on in the show. And then for our last topic, save the best for last, Rick Grimes' last episode is coming up this Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, this Sunday. Now, let's start off with Halloween. Now, Halloween released, what was it, like 2 weeks ago? Something like 2 weeks ago now. Coming up on 2 weeks. Could be longer. I don't know. It's like 2 weeks, right? Yeah, it's 2 weeks. I only see it once. I want to go see it again. I should have went to go see it before doing this, but didn't have time in my schedule. It's still stuck in my mind, so it's like that's a good thing. So, I can vividly remember everything that happened from start to finish. It's literally like Halloween meets Terminator, and you'll see a lot of people talking about that, and it's very much so. Jamie Lee Curtis is phenomenal once again. But I want to talk about the movie. I kind of want to talk about where they can go with this series. Like, where else could they go with this series? For y'all that haven't seen it, I'll try to not to spoil it. Just go check out my review in the link in the description below. I wish they would have just called this one negative I have about this title, right? Why not just call it Halloween 2? I know it would have been a weird to promote that, considering we already have like 2 other Halloween movies that are named Halloween 2. But why not just to make it easier for people, just be like, this is the legit Halloween 2. But that's because like, what's the next Halloween movie going to be called? 2020 or 2021? Halloween 2021? Like, is that just going to go by the years? I don't know. We're just going to find out. But it's definitely going to be way more family oriented. For those that saw the movie, that you saw all 3 generations of the Strodes, 3 different generations of the Strodes, sitting there at the end. And I think that is very telling on how far they can go with this series, and how far what they can do, like pretty much what they could do for future sequels. They can probably have a Halloween 3, then 4, 5, 6, I kind of hope that they retire Jamie Lee Curtis's character by the next movie. I think it'd just be fitting. Just have the main trilogy focus on Laurie, and then and then that builds up for a whole new trilogy after the next film, which will have Laurie's daughter and her daughter be the helm of that. They're going to have to finish what their grandmother what Laurie started. I think that's the best way you could possibly do this, to have a trilogy to finish off Laurie Strode's story, then have her die in the next film and be some type of like a kind of like a martyr, I guess, or a symbol for something, and then possibly have, like I said, then be like, have the next Halloween movie be the passing of the torch. I thought this one was going to be, it was kind of, but not fully, because Laurie is still alive. So we have something to look forward to in the next movie. I'm guessing it's going to come out in 2020 or 2021. Yeah, probably 2021. We'll probably see it sometime in October again. Because I was thinking about 2020 is a little bit too quick. They probably want to take a little break, because these movies are being produced like so fast nowadays, and a lot of them sacrifice quantity over quality and shit, and a lot of movies suffer from that. But it's gonna be interesting to see where the movie industry goes from, like, because if y'all don't know, if y'all been living under a rock, Disney bought Fox. I'm going off a little off topic, but Disney bought Fox, and looking at their lineup for just next year, nobody is going to eat. And it was smart for Warner Brothers. That's another thing I forgot to add in there, but I'm going to add it in now, that Wonder Woman got moved to 2020, June of 2020, which kind of pisses me off, but it's a smart business decision. I don't knock them for doing it. Because Wonder Woman would have been surrounded by, like, what was it, Frozen 2, and then the next month, fucking Star Wars would have got destroyed. It wouldn't have performed in the box office as they would want it to, so that's why they moved it completely away from 2019, because 2019 is a ridiculous year for Disney. It's looking really spooky. Like, they're starting off the year strong with Captain Marvel. Then Warner Brothers comes in April with Shazam. Shazam should actually move. Or they're probably, Shazam's probably good. I don't know what else is coming out in April, but after April, it's going to be the Avengers and Aladdin taking over May completely. Like, those are going to be the two dominant films of May, period. And then in June, I think that's when Toy Story 4 comes out, which is, oh my God, I cannot wait for that. I cannot wait for Toy Story 4. So yeah, it's just like, if you're not Disney or a Fox property, you're not eating next year. You're just not. Doesn't matter what you are. Like, man, it's really scary, because now Disney has so much in their pocket. They're literally going to turn into like a version of Apple right now, and just where just everything's gonna be Disney. And they're already looking to break records next year, like with just Captain Marvel and Avengers alone. You just take those movies and, my God, they're gonna make billions next year. But going back on to the topic at hand, Halloween. It's gonna be interesting to see when that comes out. what the storyline's going to be for that, what trailer, when we can expect a trailer. Um, I hope they kind of do it like how Pet Cemetery's trailer came out of nowhere. Like everybody knew it was being worked on, but had no idea it was coming out. Uh, I didn't know it was gonna come out this soon because didn't even announce nothing. They just dropped the trailer once it was done. So that was pretty interesting. Give me 1 second. I gotta grab my water. So yeah, that's really interesting. And LeBron, I think Blumhouse, was it Blumhouse? But LeBron wants the EP a Friday the 13th reboot or remake or whatever the fuck they're gonna call it. And I've been wanting to make this video, and I'll also have a link for that in the description, like what I would do if I were to remake a Friday the 13th movie, or the movies, I should say, plural. But it's all falling into place. Like I've also made another video saying like if Halloween is a success, which it turns out it is. It's already making a shit ton of money in the box office, more than people expected. I know it's pretty much over 100 million in the box office. It could probably be close to like 200. I haven't checked the numbers or anything, but it's doing pretty well. And now you're seeing Robert Englund talking about he wants to do one more Nightmare on Elm Street. I might do another video on that, on who would I'd cast to be the new Freddy and Nancy. If y'all follow my Twitter, you already know. But I don't even put my Twitter in the description. I'll have to do that also, so y'all could check out what I'm talking about. To get a gist of where I'm going with my who would I recast if I were to reboot Nightmare on Elm Street. I might do that sometime next month. I gotta see if I have enough content there, or I might just wing it. Yeah, I don't know, but that might be coming. But yeah, it's really dope because you're starting to see a lot of different horror movies coming back to the forefront, that used to be kings in their times. The slashers used to dominate the 80s at their time, and now if they can come back in the 20s and just dominate again, and like dominate for another decade or so like that, it would be just really, really dope. And it would be really dope to see more newer ideas, like what if they made like because with the Chucky reboot, he's gonna be a robot, so it's pretty much a robot slasher. Technically that could be looked at as like sci-fi horror in a way, right? I don't know. I could be wrong, but links for all that in the description. The Halloween review, Friday the 13th, what if I rebooted the series? And also let's why not? Yeah, let's talk about it. This My Hero. Since we got all the horror movies out of the way, let's go a little anime movie, like in anime world a little bit. My Hero Academia is being worked on as a live action movie over at Legendary. Now, a lot of people are saying no. And I'm halfway there with you, but if you want anime to get bigger, you can't just be one-sided, be like, I'm cool with just the anime. Me, I'm always gonna be cool with the anime. The anime is always gonna be the anime. Doesn't mean that you can't take your chances with a live action. Now, we've seen over the years that they just can't get it right. I've seen the Bleach movie on Netflix. That is definitely the best attempt. I haven't seen the Attack on Titan live action movies. I'm probably gonna see what that looks like, because Attack on Titan would be visually insane as a live action movie with just the, and that's the thing about these anime properties. Like, if you just have the money, the right amount of money for the special effects and everything, you can make a crazy live action anime movie and it be successful and people be geared to it. But a lot of these studios are shook. They don't really want to take that risk. So it's like if studios are afraid to take risk with anime properties, then it's the what was that? What could I say? How can I say it? I'm drawing like a blank in my head right now. If you want something to be more popular, some people don't want certain properties to be more popular than they already are. But me, I feel like the only thing that can really give these comic book movies a run for their money is these anime properties. Like, I know they fucked up on Dragon Ball, but it's never too late to try another one, you know? Don't start with Dragon Ball Z, start with Dragon Ball and then work your way up to Z, you know? Cuz Dragon Ball be more practical, it's more practical, and it's not so many special effects you have to go into. You could make it for cheap, and then once it gets popular and it becomes a demand, then you get into the Z series where you can start doing more with the special effects. You doesn't have to be just like the anime. It doesn't have to be. You know, you just take influences from it, but just also make a dope story. That's all people want. You know, you don't have to go episode by episode and just copy and paste. Even though it would be cool to see that, but it's just like, I really would love to see a Goku versus Vegeta live action. That would be some Captain America Civil War shit. But yeah, I just wish some of these studios would take more risks, you know, put some money behind these properties. You know, you're just sitting on gold right now. Like, you could, with this live action, depending on who they cast and the budget on this live action My Hero Academia, this could also spark, you know, start of something new. Like, you got Netflix working on another last Airbender, which is I'm very excited for. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be live action though too. I think, but you just gotta. You don't even have to go for the superpower kind of animes neither, like the shonen animes. Go for something like Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop, I think, would kill it at the box office if it had the right people behind it, had the right script, the right actors, everything. It's really easy, very easy. What else could they could do? They could do Trigun, you know, stuff that they're not like special effects heavy, that they could easily do, you know, make it look like a normal movie to the casual audience, I should say. There's tons of stuff. There's so many. Like, Batum would be an amazing live action. Like that'd just be, people would look at it like another Hunger Games, but people don't realize that Battle Royale was the original Hunger Games, like before Hunger Games. Um, and even like when you see the actors and the director from like the Raid series and The Night Comes for Us, like all those people, like you put those people in the forefront of like an anime movie, you're gonna make box office. It's just Hollywood is too shook, too scared to do anything risky like that, because if you were to come out there and make a Dragon Ball Z movie, it's gonna be at least have 150 million plus budget, you know, because special effects and all that. I'm just guessing off the top of my head, probably more. And then you got to go into marketing, which that's another 50 mil or something like that, X amount of money. So say at the end of it, they spent like 200 mil on making a Dragon Ball Z movie, and it only makes like 100 mil opening weekend. That or under, yeah, it makes like 50 or 60, like 70 or 80 million opening weekend. That's not good. That's what they're worried about. But I say just take the risk. Hopefully they do it. Hopefully the My Hero Academia will break the curse that these live action anime movies seem to have with people. But that's gonna be my last thing about movies. So we're gonna hop over to the TV side. Now, before we get into my last topic for this video, for this episode, Rick Grimes' last episode, we're going to talk about American Horror Story and its future. And we're going to talk about Haunting on House Hill, and then Titans, and we're going to get right into the main event. Now, American Horror Story is my favorite horror show on television right now. It used to be a toss-up between Walking Dead and American Horror Story, but I always liked American Horror Story just because it's a different story every season, but they all connect. This season is really good. I have some negatives about that. I'll probably talk about that more in depth when I put out my season finale video. But I'll give you a little taste on what I think. I think it's it's an amazing season for it just being a crossover season. Like, it's still one of the best crossover I've seen in the show in a very period, I would say. Better, like I said, better than the DC crossovers, because those shits are pretty lame. It's only like for an episode or so. Or they'll have a whole event, which is cool and all that, but like, when I sit back and look at the story and the outline of American Horror Story as a whole, it comes together perfectly. Now, my issue with this season, one of my biggest issues, is this whole feminist vibe, kind of Me Too vibe I'm getting off this whole season. Like, they kind of touched on it last year. It was like, all right, it was cool for 1 year, but then like they expand on it with this. They keep bashing you over the head with this female empowerment type bullshit. It just seems like bullshit to me. But like I said, it still makes for a good story, but it just also kind of takes me out of it sometimes when they try to like belittle men. And some people might see it as entertainment, but they definitely, what Ryan Murphy kind of does, he definitely puts a lot of his political and social thoughts in these series, and it's kind of annoying because it's annoying and it's distracting at the same time because you want to enjoy this story that he's trying to tell, but he's also trying to bash you over the head with an agenda. Like, that's the only thing that's kind of like taking me out of these seasons. And this season has definitely been rushed. Rushed, but not rushed in a sense of not giving a shit about characters and whatnot. Like the first two episodes of the season are kind of irrelevant still. And you kind of don't need to watch those episodes. You can go right to episode 3. And that really starts off the story. But I guess the first 2 episodes play a part in this, but I don't know. And I don't know if this Sunday coming up, or not Sunday, tomorrow or tonight or Wednesday night is going to be a season finale, or if they got a few more episodes to go. Because if tonight's the last episode, that's kind of whack. I looked on WikiLeaks and they only had up to like episode 8. They didn't have the other episodes. They probably didn't add them yet, but I'm hoping it's not a season finale coming up soon. That's way too soon. Way too fucking soon. Yeah, I just kind of wish like Ryan Murphy would just tone that shit down and just go back to like how season 1. We're never gonna get that. As good as this season is, we're never gonna get like a real true dope story like the first 2 seasons. Season 3, that's a lot of people's favorite, no doubt, but mine's is always gonna be 1 and 2. That is their like, if they could just get away from the humor for next season, if there's a next season. I'm pretty sure there'll be a next season, but if they could just give us a straight horror season, just like a straight OG American Horror Story, like season 1, season 2, that's why I really wanted would have made this season even better. But that's where my another negative comes in. But I'm cool with it. I'm cool with the humor, but like that's why I don't really like Coven that much, because that's when they introduced a lot of the jokes, and ever since then they added that into every single one of their seasons. Now imagine this, right? If Coven came out and it had no humor and is more of a serious tone, more gritty, more, more serious and not as jokey, not as many jokes, I think it would have been better. Or if they just completely toned down the humor completely, I think it would have been definitely a way better season. It's just little things, but I'm gonna touch on it more when the season gets done and give you my final thoughts. It's just, that's what I feel about the series as a whole. Now, segueing into Netflix territory for a little bit, I want to talk about The Haunting of House Hill. This has got to be Netflix's best show this year, hands down. I like Maniac, but I was completely lost on what I was watching. I didn't know it was a comedy. I thought it was going to end up being some type of psychological horror shit or like some experimental shit that goes wrong. I gotta finish watching that. I'm only like 5 or 6 episodes in. I kind of just stopped. I'm gonna go back and finish it though tomorrow or Thursday, probably Thursday. But this show is so amazing. I didn't want to spoil nothing in my review. I also have that link in the description below. I don't know, because I wanted to make a follow-up video to like a whole series review. I might still do that and go back and rewatch it again. And do a review on it to see the things that cuz you know when you watch a show, you're going to miss some things cuz you can't catch everything at once, like with one viewing, unless if your memory's that good. Me, I can't. Sometimes I could watch things once and be good. House on Haunted, The Haunting on House Hill, off House Hill, Hill House, whatever the fuck. It's a tongue twister. What is a phenomenal show, man. It really blends. And I heard they're going the American Horror Story route, which is really, really smart, because I just got done talking about if you took all the jokes out of American Horror Story, pretty much gonna get Haunting on House Hill, whatever the next season's gonna be called. I think they said they're gonna go the anthology route, which would be really, really dope, really exciting. Which means that every season is going to be different. And it's perfect, because if American Horror Story was to end, then people can hop right over to Netflix or whatever streaming service they got and watch Haunting of House Hill. And that could probably, it's very possible for that show to completely take American Horror Story's thunder. And I'm cool with it, because I think right now, based off the first season, I know I'm probably jumping to go. It's already better than American Horror Story. Already better. And I love American Horror Story. I love American Horror Story. Don't like season 5, Hotel. Don't like that, but everything else is cool. I really like. Because with American Horror Story, it seemed after Coven, they was like, all right, let's just have fun with this shit. Some people left the series after Coven, or after Coven, came back this season, for Apocalypse. Some people didn't like Freak Show. I like Freak Show for what it was. It's got some things. I think it's really underrated. Roanoke is definitely really fire. I really like how the ending to that is, it's mixed for me, but overall, solid show. But if you haven't checked out A Haunting of House Hill, go check that out on Netflix right now. Guarantee you're gonna be hooked after the first episode. Very different type of storytelling. It's very reminiscent as if they turned This Is Us into like a horror story. Like the way they use flashbacks to tell certain stories within the with the episodes and stuff, and just I really like that type of writing. It's very complex, very, it gives you a lot more backstory on the characters that you're watching. Which I wish a lot more shows would do, more flashback kind of things like that. Like, not like a complete copy and paste, but kind of like put more flashbacks in your shows, in this type of way. But yeah, that's my thoughts on American Horror Story and A Haunting on Hill House, whatever the fuck they gotta do something with that title. And second to last topic, Titans. Now, Titans has been very controversial since they showed off what all the characters look like on set. Since then, the series has kind of been doomed. But even like I said, I even bashed it. I thought it looked trash. But the more I'm watching the actual series now, it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. It's very, 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 very gritty. Like that second episode was pretty lit. This one was cool. This one was cool. I don't think one only negative with this recent episode is like there was no need to put Beast Boy in there. Honestly, because like he didn't really do nothing. He was just there and just could have just cut his whole part out and just saved it for the next episode. But anyways, yeah, like Titans is getting a lot of backlash, a lot of hate. Some people think it's complete trash. Like Robin's not Robin, Raven's not Raven, Starfire's definitely not Starfire. But like I see, like the more I watch it, the more I'm like, all right, they're trying to go for a more realistic, kind of more more realistic, more grounded type of Titans. Because I guarantee you, if they had corny jokes all throughout this series and it wasn't as gory, or if it was just on the CW, people would have trashed it even more. I thought this is the best way you could possibly have done the Titans for now, until they probably, because who's to say they won't make a live action movie and we actually get to see these characters as they should be. But overall, I really enjoy this series so far. It's not great. It's not bad. It's not, it's okay so far. It's piqued my interest long enough. Because usually, if the first 2 episodes were trash, I would have probably dropped the series. I just think people shouldn't be so quick to judge. And I'm trying to get out of that whole vibes, like all right, if this is trash by if the first episode's trash, I'm done with this fucking series. Like with the Sabrina shit, I'm just not gonna watch that because that first episode's garbage. I don't like none of the characters. That ain't Sabrina. And come to find out that's based off a comic book series, not interested. Don't care. I might still go back and watch it just because I got nothing else to do. Got nothing else to really review or talk about. But maybe that should be the series I trash. Just watch the episodes and just trash the shit out of it. Who knows? But but nah, I don't even want to do that to people, because if you like the show, I'm not gonna tell you not to stop watching it. I'll just suggest something better. That's all I've ever done. Like, just because Game of Thrones is nowhere in my top 10 doesn't mean you should stop watching it. I could just recommend 10 other shows that you could be watching besides Game of Thrones that, in my opinion, are more entertaining. That's a whole nother video, another story for another time. But let's get into the meat and potatoes, the final topic of tonight's. And this will continue in a video on Sunday. Rick Grimes' last episode on The Walking Dead. Also known, well, his real name, He goes by the name of Andrew Lincoln. This is his final episode. And I see a lot of mixed feelings. Or a lot of mixed reactions, I should say. Some people are cool with it. Some people, this is going to be their last episode watching The Walking Dead, which is cool. A little weird. Not going to knock nobody for doing that. That's pretty powerful. But me, I gotta see the whispers, man. I gotta see the whispers. I gotta see how they do the whispers. If they do the whispers garbage and it just turns out to be a flop, I'll probably be done after the season. But yeah, it's his last episode. The way it played out with him and with Daryl wanting to fight Rick and stuff, like when they got into that fight and they fell in that hole, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, they really know how, like, really try to trick people time and time again. Like the Glenn the Glenn fake out death, like that shit was still that really broke a lot of people and took a lot of people out of the series. Like, it's just, and I mentioned this in my video. I'll have a link for that in the description. My thoughts on Rick leaving the show, and my thoughts are, this is literally gonna be make or break for Walking Dead from that point on, because if Rick's death is trash like Carl's, because Carl's death was like by far the worst death on The Walking Dead. Just the way they did it could have been planned. It could have been written so much better, so much better. I'm just really hoping, like I said, it's make or break for Walking Dead, because, like I said, if Rick's death is, it's gonna be emotional. It's gonna be, overwhelming for some people. People that have been watching the show since day one, it's definitely gonna hit them hard. But if this shit is garbage, I think The Walking Dead goes from having 5 million to now having 2 point. Like, it's literally going to split the fit. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. What is it now? They have like 5 million viewers per week. It's gonna go down to like 3 million. Either or, even if it's ass, or say if it's phenomenal and people are cool with it, I think after that moment, until the whispers pop up, I think they're going to be in some trouble where they're going to probably have somewhere around 3 million, maybe less than 3 million people left watching The Walking Dead. And I don't think The Walking Dead will get canceled just yet. It might get canceled after this season, because if those ratings drop to like around 2 to 3, Walking Dead is in trouble. We might not even get to the Whisper War. We might get to see the Whispers. We might not even get to the Whisper War. Just letting that be known, because I'm pretty sure they want the Whisper War to be all season 10. So it's his final episode. Like, what are some people's actual thoughts on this? Like, how do you guys really feel about this? Like, do you not care? Because I know, like I said, I know some people that don't care. They stop watching the show after like season 4 or 5. Me, I thought I thought he should at least be a part of the Whisper War, which is gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird not seeing him a part of that, because I only know a little bit about the comics, and it sucks that we don't get to see none of that shit get played out. We don't get to see Negan and Carl's storyline play out more. We're not gonna go see. We're just not gonna see certain characters like their storylines played out. They gotta remix it a little bit, and man, this is gonna be really tricky. This is gonna be really, really tricky, because I think either or, even if it's make or break, if it's a great episode, I think a lot of people are still gonna be done. They might still lose like 1 million to 2 million viewers after next Sunday. We're gonna have to find out by episode 6, obviously, but I think after Rick's last episode, Walking Dead might finally die. But we gotta just see what they have planned, because they could be planning like some type of reboot, kind of like a reboot within the series itself, without having to completely start over, you know. But it might, like I said, it might blow up in their face, and it's probably not what people wanted. Like, people didn't want Carl to go. They lost a lot of views for that. They didn't want they don't want Maggie to leave, but also Maggie's leaving. We don't know when her last episode is. She might still be a part of the Whisper War. She might get killed off eventually this season. Who knows? It's looking really weird. The whole stuff with this is a little off topic, but the whole shit with Father Gabriel and what's her face? The trash can bitch. Like, I don't know what's going on with that. That's really confusing the fuck out of me. I probably missed something. I don't know. But I wish they would just not show that shit no more. That's just me. That's my opinion. But back to the Rick shit. It's gonna be a very emotional episode. They're probably their most emotional episode. You're gonna see a bunch of reaction channels, mostly female channels, that talk about Walking Dead. Cry. You're gonna see them cry because they're in love with Rick Grimes. But now, looking at this, right, it could be looked at as like a cop out. Like, damn, if Rick would have just went with Daryl at the end of episode 4, he had been straight. But like Rick always does, in true fashion, is he always has to play Captain Save-A-Ho. I would have just went with Daryl and then worried about the horde later. But I understand he was trying to save people. Captain Save-A-Ho. And just the way I'm just glad he didn't get bit or nothing, because that should have been I've been furious. You would have saw a rant. It kind of makes sense for his character, you know. He tries to put so much on his back, then it ends up getting him killed. He tries to save so many people, and he's got all these ideals that a lot of people don't see eye to eye with, and he's trying to make society livable again. And it really sucks too. It's just, and obviously with Rick dying, it's gonna bring everybody together. They'll probably feel more sympathy for Negan. Maybe we gotta see how he plays into this, because I'm very curious to see this new Negan. But yeah, we just gonna have to find out till this Sunday. But that's all I got for you guys today. I've been going for almost an hour. I'm gonna have a bunch of links in the description after this video uploads. I'll probably put them up later on in the morning or in the afternoon. I'll have a trailer for episode 9 out by Thursday or Friday. I'm going to get prepping on that later on today. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And I'll check y'all out later. Peace.